Hey there everybody, welcome to another game in the Inside Pitch 1984 season playthrough. Most of these games are being played offline on the computer on the Replay PC, but I'm taking a game a week, or game of the week, and using Inside Pitch to play with the cards and dice. Picking a different team every week, or a different set of teams every week, and eventually all teams will be included. This week, we are looking at a May 2nd game. So let's look at the wrap up from April 29th, the replay roundup. And you can see the standings. You got Detroit a game ahead of Toronto in the East. The White Sox game up on Oakland. Kansas City really struggling at 7-12. They were the eventual West champions, but it's still kind of early. Only about 20 games in or so. In the National League, the Cardinals lead the Phillies by a game and a half. And surprisingly, Houston and the Dodgers are tied for the lead, and San Diego is 4.5 back. They're really struggling a bit. This game today, like I said, is from May the 2nd, and it's going to be in the National League West. Last week, we did the Toronto-Seattle game, which was kind of a blowout, as Toronto just took it to Mark Langston and really gave him an early shower. This game in the National League West, it is the first place Dodgers traveling to San Francisco to take on the Giants from Candlestick Park. And let's go ahead and, one other thing I wanted to mention, the highlight in the week, since it involves a Dodger, not anybody's playing this game, but Alejandro Pena, one of the starters, had a one-hitter against the Padres recently, and he took a no-hitter to the ninth with 2 outs, a pinch hit single by pinch hitter Champ Summers broke up the no-hitter. So it's 8-0 blowout, but he had the no-hitter going till 2 outs in the ninth. The computer brought in Champ Summers, and Champ Summers delivered a pinch hit, cost him his no-hitter. All right, we'll bring in our score sheet and give you the starting lineups for this game. That again was played May the 2nd, 1984. For the Dodgers, Steve Sax will lead off at second, Bill Russell in center, Pedro Guerrero is at third, Marshall in left, Maldonado in right, Yeager the catcher, Brock at first, Anderson in short, and Rick Honeycutt the pitcher for the Dodgers. For the Giants, Jeffrey Leonard in center. Whoa, that was a big thunder boomer. We do have storms going through, so hopefully nothing will happen here, but that was a big thunder boomer. Even shook Tabby up a little bit. All right, let's start again. Jeffrey Leonard in center, Manny Trio at second, Jack Clark at first, Dusty Baker in left, Chili Davis in right, Joel Youngblood at third, Bob Brenly catching, Johnny LeMaster at short, and Mark Davis, the pitcher, is on the mound. So 2 lefties going at it here at Candlestick. We'll bring in the dice, and we'll bring in Mark Davis. He is the starting pitcher for the Giants. And we'll try to show as much of this. I'm going to try to get everything on here as much as possible. I think we can do it this way. I think there's enough room there. Verify that. I think so. Alrighty. So leading things off for the Dodgers will be Steve Sax, second baseman. And again, coming into this game, the Dodgers come in tied for first place with a record of 15-9. The Giants are next to last at 8-14. So Giants are hoping that their struggles do not continue and their fortunes get better. All right, so Candlestick Park is also right here if needed. In fact, I'll do that so you can see the Candlestick Park card. And we're ready to go. Steve Sax against, and since they're batting, I'll bring this down a little bit lower. Steve Sax against Mark Davis. We get a 4-5 off of Mark Davis. That's a strikeout chance. The W for a walk is if he's tired. Strikeout chance, that's a 7. Against a lefty, it's only a 4. The stadium doesn't add anything, so no strikeout. We go to Sax's card. Finish the at-bat, 1-3, and that is a star line 2, which is a ground ball to short. So 1 away, and I'm doing a lot of pointing with my finger. In fact, I might get an extra, maybe I'll get a pencil or something, because sometimes I have a tendency to read the wrong grid, so if I point at it, I'll get the right grid and not mess things up as much. All right, here's Bill Russell. Usually a shortstop, but playing center field today. 5-3. 5-3 is a strikeout chance again. That's a 2. Well below the 6, so it is a strikeout. Mark Davis rings up Bill Russell. And this is the same Mark Davis who won the Cy Young as a reliever in 1989 for the Padres. So, but he was a starter slash reliever and was involved in the Kevin Mitchell trade back in 1987. But this is early on in his career. He was both a starter and a reliever. Here's Guerrero. All hit, no field, Pedro Guerrero, 4-4. 4-4 is another strikeout chance. That's a 10. Well, he's got 11. 10's less than the 11, so it will be a strikeout. So Guerrero hung up to dry, and that's it for the Dodgers here in the first. Tommy Lasorda looking a little sad, but at the end of a half an inning, it's nothing for the Dodgers, and the Giants coming to bat. And lefty Rick Honeycutt is on the mound. I forgot to mention Davis in the regular season. At the end of the season, 5-17 with a 5.36 ERA. And on the replay, he is 0-3 with an ERA of an even 10. So kind of ugly there. Rick Honeycutt, 10-9 on the season in 1984. On the replay, he is 0-1 with a 3.14 ERA. So neither pitcher all that impressive, but both offenses have been struggling as well in the year. So it's one of those things, something's got to give. It's the movable force against the resistible object. So something's got to give here. All right, Jeffrey Leonard's going to lead things off against the lefty Honeycutt. 4-6. Let me get my pointer out. 4-6 is another strikeout chance. That's a 9. And against the lefty, that's only a 7 for K. So no strikeout for Leonard. Against the righty, he would have struck out. So we go to Leonard, 6-6. That's a single past second base. So Jeffrey Leonard, leadoff single. Let's check his attempt. It's a 3. Nothing for Honeycutt. So we'll roll in the strategy roll. We get 11, so nothing's going on there. He will have to hold. And here's Manny Trio. 4-4, and that's a range play. I'm sorry, 4-4 is a blank against a right-hander. 4-3 was a range play. 4-4 is a strikeout against the lefty, blank against the righty, so we go straight to Trio's card. 1-2. 1-2 is a liner to short. Now, it could be a double play. So there is a chart for line drives right here. Line drive. And it tells you with the runners on first base, if it's a line drive to short, you have to have a 1. That's the only way he's doubled off is to roll a 1. So we're going to roll a D6. If it's a 1, it's a double play. Nope, no double play. Leonard gets back. So 1 away. Brings up Jack Clark. 5-6 for Clark is blank again against a right-hander. Apparently Honeycutt's got a lot of Ks against lefties, but against righties it's a blank. So we go to Clark. That's why the lineup is stacked with righties. 5-2 is a star line 1, which is a ground ball to second. So it could be a double play. His double play rating's a 4. Honeycutt's a ground ball pitcher, so you add 1, make it a 5. The pivot is the shortstop, Dave Anderson. He's a 0. So this is a 1 to 5. So anything other than a 6, and it's an inning-ending double play. It's 3, so it's an inning-ending double play, and it will be counted 4-6-3. And that's going to do it here in the first for the Giants. We go to the second, no score from Candlestick. And I realize this is not a glamour matchup, but in the beginning of the season, I want to put the lesser teams on there to get them out of the way, so to speak, so that when we get more into the summertime or in the replay summertime, like in near July or whatever, that I'm showing the teams that are actually in contention. I don't want to have to show the Giants when they're 100 games in and they're 30 games out of first place. That would be kind of ridiculous. So I'm trying to find them when it's early in the season, plus it's a rivalry, so that's why this game was chosen. And I'm also doing alternating American National every other week. So last week was American, this week's the National. 2-2 is a walk chance. 16 though, well, against Marshall it's a 17. So you actually add 1 from the stadium, makes him an 18. So 16 is less than that. So it will be a walk to Mike Marshall. He does walk. Now, his attempt is a 1. Plus 1 from Mark Davis makes his attempt a 2. It's a 9. Nothing's happening. So Marshall has to hold. Marshall. So here is Candy Maldonado. 3-1 is another strikeout chance, but 18 is way too high for that. So we go to Maldonado. And we get a 3-4. 3-4 is a fly to left. And there's 1 away. And of course, Marshall will trot back to first. Here's Steve Yeager. The Jägermeister. 4-6 is a range play. First range player of the day. And, almost spun out of there. 5-3. 5-3 is a star line 4, which is a ground ball to third. So we're checking the range of the third baseman. That'll be Joel Youngblood. His range is a 1. So obviously the worst you can have. See if he can get to it. He does not. Let's see if it's down the line for a double. It's a 5, so it is. It's a double. So how about that? A double past third base. Now will Mike Marshall score? Let's take a look here. Double, let's see here. No, I'm sorry. It's not going to be a double because it's an S5, so it only can be a single. I don't think. Let me double check that. I'm thinking when you play so many games, playing Strat, some other games, sometimes the rules get a little bit frisky. So let me go to the board here, do the failed range play. Failed range play on a, let's see here, failed range. Where are you? Failed range. There you are. Failed range. Ground ball to third. Yep, you do roll it for that. So it is going to be a double. I was right the first time. I thought so. For some reason, I was questioning that. I don't know why. So it is a double. Always go with your first instinct, I guess. All right, so we're going to check the double to left field. It's a -1 for Mike Marshall on that double to left. So Mike Marshall's BR rating is a 2, and it's already going to drop 1 to make it a 1. And the left fielder's arm is Baker, who's a 0. So that's basically, he's got a 1 there to try to score. So we'll roll and see if he can do it. He cannot. It's a 3, so he has to hold. So he will hold at third base. No damage done. Second and third. 1 away. Infield is going to play in with 1 out. They don't want to give up a cheap run. So infield is in. Here's Mark Davis facing Brock. 1-4 is a strikeout chance. That's a 7, so he will strike him out. Very big strikeout right there for out number 2. Now the infield can go back to normal. Now you have the strategy in the National League. Do you pitch to the weak hitting number 8 hitter and get Honeycutt at the plate to try to end the inning, or do you take a chance of getting Anderson out and then having Honeycutt lead off the next inning? Well, they're going to go for the latter. They're going to go ahead and pitch to Anderson because they don't think he can do very much. See if that strategy pays off. 4-6 is another range play. Well, it might, if they get failed range play, it won't pay off, will it? 3-6 is a liner to second, so we're checking the range of the second baseman trio. He's a 2, so this could get by him for a 2-run single. But he makes the catch. It's a 1, so how about that? Trio bailed him out. And that's going to do it. So now they will have Honeycutt leading off the third. So they took a chance and it paid off. And they won't have to deal with Sachs as the leadoff man. They'll have Honeycutt as the leadoff man in the third. So no score. We go to the bottom of the second. Honeycutt back out to face Dusty Baker. Dusty Baker near the twilight of his career. 3-2. 3-2 is the ballpark. So first chance to go to Candlestick and get something done at Candlestick. 6-2 is a star line 6, which is a fly to right on Honeycutt. So Dusty Baker will, and I did it again. That's the second time I've started the games in the second inning instead of the first. I don't know if it's because I'm reaching around my camera or why, but for some reason the first inning just getting shot on the bottom half. I'm not sure why. It's the second time I've done that. I got to pay more attention next time. All right, here is Chili Davis. Not that it matters to anybody out there, but 4-1 is a range play at Candlestick, so we're going right back to Candlestick once again. For Chili Davis, 3-1 is a single pass or single to left field, but we're checking the range of the left fielder, and that is Mike Marshall, who's a 3, so he could stop this. He could catch this. But he does not. It's a 4, so now we got to see if it's a double or not. It is not. It's a single. So it drops in front of Marshall, and Chili Davis is aboard. His attempt is a 3, so we'll see what he can do on the attempt. 7, nothing's happening. So here's Joel Youngblood. 4-6 is a strikeout chance. That's a 15, way too high for that. So we'll go to Youngblood. 6-4 is flies to right. That's 2 down. So Youngblood is retired. That brings up Bob Brenly, former manager, broadcaster. 3-4. 3-4 is the ballpark card again. Boy, we're hitting Candlestick quite a bit. 4-1 is a ground ball to short, and that's going to end the inning. So nothing doing there. We play 2 here at Candlestick, and nothing's been decided. It's zip, zip. And now Rick Honeycutt will have to lead off since they decided to pitch to the number 8 man, Dave Anderson, and that strategy paid off. So now they get to have Honeycutt lead off against Davis. 3-2 is a strikeout chance, and you know it's going to be a strikeout. So he's down on strikes, 1 away for Steve Sachs. 6-4, another strikeout chance. That's a 15 though, way too high for that. Go to Sachs, 1-5. He singles past third. Second hit of the game for the Dodgers, and Sachs can run. So his attempt is a 7 plus 1 from Davis makes it an 8. So 1-8, he gets the chance to steal. And it's a 19, so he's not going anywhere. He will have to hold. So Davis with that good move, or not really that great of a move, but apparently it fooled Sachs. He has to hold. Here's Bill Russell. 5-2 is a hit by pitch chance. Now Mark Davis adds 9. Russell's a 0, but Davis adds 9, but the 18's above the 9, so Russell apparently was never hit by a pitch, so that took care of that. 6-4, ground ball to third, possible double play. That's a 2. Nothing added from Davis, and second baseman Trio adds nothing, so it has to be a 2 or less. And it is. It's a double play. 5-4-3 around the horn is going to do it as Bill Russell grounds into the double play. So nothing doing for the Dodgers. We go to the bottom of the third. Still no score from Candlestick. And Honeycutt will be back out. Both pitchers can go fairly well. Honeycutt can face 27 batters. Mark Davis 23. So we'll see how that plays out. Right now, Johnny LeMaster, number 8 hitter, against Honeycutt, 4-3 is a range play. So range play on LeMaster. 5-1 is a pop to third. We're checking the third baseman Guerrero. He's got a horrible range of a 1. See if he can get to it. He does not. So now, let's see what we've got here. Failed range play on a pop up to third is going to drop in for a single. So it's not a foul pop up. It's in fair territory. So it's going to drop for a base hit for Johnny LeMaster. His attempt is a 4. Nothing happening here on Honeycutt. Let's see if anything's going on. 5. He's gonna do a hit and run. The pitcher will do a hit and run, Mark Davis, or we could have him bunt and override that, which seems to make more sense. As a pitcher, you would think he would be bunting here. His bunt rating. Let's see here. His bunt rating. Where is your bunt rating? Your bunt rating is a 3. So we go to our chart. Bunt rating is a 3. We roll 1d20. See what happens. And we need to roll 1d6 to see who fields it. That's a 3 and that's a 2. So on the bunt chart, he's a 3. A 3 falls in this 1 to 12 category, which means it's a good bunt. And the red die is a 2, which means the pitcher fields it. So it's a bunt to the pitcher, sacrifice bunt. Scored 1-4 as Sachs was covering. So Honeycutt throws out Davis, but the job is done as a sac fly or a sac bunt. Runners in scoring position, 1 out for Jeff Leonard. 1-2 is a home run question mark against a right-hander. 1-16 is the home run chance. That's a 17. It falls out of that range. No home run opportunity, which is lucky for Honeycutt because Leonard has a 20 against lefties, so it would have been a home run, but he just escaped. Go to Leonard's card. 2-2, question mark 9. That's a 4 against a left-hander. Question mark 9. You come up here. A 4 is the 1-8. That's a single to the single to right field. With that question mark 9 is a single to right. So now the question is, can LeMaster score? LeMaster, BR is a 3. The right fielder Marshall is a 0. So a 3 and a 0. Let's see here. S9, to get from second to home, you add 1. So that gives LeMaster a 4. So his BR rating is now a 4. So let's see if he can make it. The red die is 4 or less. He will make it. 5, he holds. 6, he's going to be out. It's a 3, he makes it. So how about that? Jeff Leonard, RBI single for Jeff Leonard. And the Giants grab a 1-0 lead. Whoops, let's check Leonard. Almost forgot to check his attempt, which is a 3. Plus 1 from Honeycutt makes it a 4. Nothing going on, so Leonard will hold. Here's Manny Trio. 6-5 against a right-hander is blank. Left-hander would have been a star line. Right-hander is blank. Trio, 4-4. Ground ball to second. Could be a double play. He has a 2. Add 1 to it from Honeycutt. It makes that a 3. And the pivot at short is Anderson. He's a 0. So 1-3, and it's a double play. It is double play. So how about that? 4-6-3. Double play ends the inning. But the Giants pick up a run. And at the end of 3, it is 1-0 Giants against the Dodgers here in 1984 Candlestick Park. Inside pitch. Pedro Guerrero will lead things off against Mark Davis. Start the fourth. It's a 4-3, and that is a home run chance straight up. No question mark needed. We go straight to Guerrero's card. Against the lefty, he needs an 8 or less. That's a 15. Won't do it. Against a right-hander, it would have been a home run. Lefty, no home run. So we go to Guerrero to finish. 3-2 is a Starline 5, which is a fly to left. So he just got up under it. Warning track power on that one, and hauled in by Dusty Baker, one away. Brings up Mike Marshall. 3-1 is a strikeout chance. 15, though, is too much. It's above the 10. That's on the card. So we go to Marshall. 2-5, grounds at the third. Joel Youngblood makes the play. 2 down, and that brings up Candy Maldonado. Maldonado, fly to left his first time. 4-3, and that's another home run chance, straight up. And that's a 9, that's a 3, so that's gone. A home run for Candy Maldonado, and we got a tie ball game. Candy Maldonado homers to tie the game. He had 5 on the season, just got one right there to tie the score at a run apiece. Here is Yeager, 5-3, strikeout chance. 19 is too much. Go to Yeager's card. 5-4 is a ground ball to third. That's going to end the inning. But the Dodgers pick up the run on the Candy Maldonado solo blast. And we go to the bottom of the fourth, tied at 1. And speaking of blast, here's Jack Clark. Although back in '84 he only hit 11. He didn't bomb like he did later in the years. All right, 2-5 for Honeycutt is a blank. So we go straight to Clark's card. 6-5 against a lefty is a ground ball to third. Against a righty he would have singled, but this is a ground ball to third. Fucking right. So there's one away. So Jack Clark is out of there. Here's Dusty Baker. Honeycutt, 5-6 against Baker is a blank for a righty. Starline against the lefty, but blank against the righty. Baker, 1-3. He's going to ground it right back to Honeycutt. Easy play. 1-3 ground out. 2 down for Chili Davis. Singled his first trip. 6-3. Chili Davis against the lefty had been a home run chance, but he's a switch hitter batting right, so it's a blank. So we go to Chili Davis. 5-3. And against a lefty, it's a ground ball to second. Would have been a single against a righty, but this is just a 4-3 to end the inning. So easy inning there for Honeycutt. And we go to the fifth. Score tied at a run apiece. And now what I may do is put the cards. Put the cards. Where did I go? Where did Mark Davis go? There he is. Put my cards over here for the team that's not batting, and then keep the score up there. But at least you can see the cards better and the score sheet better, I think. Hopefully. We'll see how it plays out, but as I want to slide over to this part of the score sheet, I'm losing visual space to my left, so we'll see how this goes. Mark Davis, 3-4. 3-4 is a range play, so we're checking the range on the Greg Brock card. 4-1. Fly to right, so range of the right fielder. And the range of the right fielder, Chili Davis, is a 3, so he's got a range of 3 to make this catch. And he does not, so we'll see if it's a double or not. It is not. It's simply a single. So Greg Brock with a single. His attempt is a 2 plus 1 from Davis makes him a 3. And nothing happening on that. We now go to Dave Anderson. 4-1 is a potential walk. 20 though is too high. Even though his walk is up to 19, he missed it with the 20. Actually, no, I take it back. The stadium is a +1. I almost didn't see it in the camera there. Stadium is a +1. That will make Anderson a 20. And so he will walk. The Candlestick Park will give him that extra boost to allow him to walk. And now the first 2 are on for Rick Honeycutt, the pitcher. And this is an obvious bunt situation. He is a 3. So we roll the 20 plus a D6. That's a 9. So a 9 on a 3 bunter is still good, 1-12. 2 on the red die means the pitcher fielded it. So Mark Davis will field it. Throw it over to trio covering. Sacrifice hit goes 1-4. And now second and third with 1 out. And the infield is going to have to come in because they don't want to give up a cheap run. Of course, that limits their range as well. But got to take chances, I guess. Here's Steve Sachs. 5, 6. K plus against a lefty, but blank against a righty, so we go to sacks. 6, 1, a single to right field, so possible 2-run single. Let's see how it goes. We know that Rock's going to score from third, obviously. Now the question is, will Anderson score? Anderson, his BR rating is a 3. And an S9 to get from home, second to home is a +1. That makes it a BR a 4. The right fielder, Chili Davis, does have a -1 arm, brings it back down to a 3. So a 3 or less, he will score on the red die. And he does. So 2-run single for Steve Sachs. Steve Sachs, the big 2-run single, and the Dodgers lead it 3-1. Oops, Sachs may try to run here. His attempt is a 7, +1 makes that an 8. And it's a 19, nothing's going on there, so he has to hold. Here's Bill Russell, he struggled, struck out and grounded into a double play. 1-4 is another strikeout chance, and it's 2, so he will strike out again. So Russell really having a rough time of it. 2 down. Sachs still at first for Pedro Guerrero. 2-5 is a blank against Mark Davis. That K plus is for a lefty. So Guerrero misses that. Go to Guerrero. 2-5 again is a fly to right. And that's going to end the inning. But 2 runs come in for the Dodgers. Thanks to a Steve Sachs 2-run single. We go to the bottom of the 5th. It is 3-1 Dodgers. Now I'll move cards over here. That way we can see the score sheet for the batters. And hopefully everything is still in play here. All right, so here we go. Rick Honeycutt now given a lead to protect. 3-2. 3-2 is the ballpark card. So we're going to Candlestick. See what happens on the ballpark. 6-3, and that's a single past second base. So leadoff single for Joe Youngblood. Oops. Leadoff single for Youngblood. His attempt is a 2. Nothing for Honeycutt, so it's 2 or bust. It's 13, nothing's happening. So that brings up Bob Brentley. 6-1 is a strikeout chance. 12 against a right-hander, or against a left-hander is too much. It's only a 4. So we go to Brentley. 2-1 on Brentley is a single to center field. So how about that? Single to center. Now to go from first to third on a single to center, you lose 1. So the BR rating of Youngblood is a 2. It's now a 1. Center fielder arm Russell is a 0. So it has to be a 1 for him to make it. And it's not. He has to hold. So he will hold. Runners at first and second. Nobody out. And back come the Giants. Here's Johnny LeMaster. 3-1 is a possible error. First error check of the game. Possible error. 2 and a 3 on LeMaster. 2-3 against a lefty. It's a fly to center. It would have been a double against a righty, but this is a fly to center. And there's no error because that's only a 20. That's a 20, and the center fielder Russell's a 0. So the only way you can have an error is if they had a 20 error rating, and that didn't happen. So fly out, and to get from second to third on the fly to center, you have to subtract 3 from the BR rating, which would be more than his BR rating to begin with, so he can't go anywhere. Now here's Mark Davis. Now, kind of early to pinch hit, but they may have to down 3-1. So I think they're going to make the move. They're going to pinch hit for Mark Davis and go to their bullpen and go to a pinch hitter. Check the bench and see what kind of righties they have on the bench to hit. Most of their guys on the bench are left-handed. They do have backup catcher Steve Nicosia, but you hate to use your backup catcher so early. But I think that's what they're going to do. They're going to use Steve Nicosia. Most of their bench is loaded with lefties. And Honeycutt is definitely tough on lefties. All right, so here we go. Honeycutt will be facing Nicosia. 2 on, 1 out. It's a 4-1, and that's a range play at Candlestick. That's a 2-2. It's a double chance to right field. Double to right is the chance, but we're checking the range of the right fielder. That is Maldonado. He's a 3. And he cannot get it, so it's a double. How about that? A double to right field. Pinch hit double by Steve Nicosia. That will score Youngblood easily from second. Now, Brentley doesn't run all that well. Let's check his BR rating. He's a 2. And the right fielder, Maldonado's a -1 and dropping down to a 1. So let's see if he can get that with a 1. He cannot. That's a 2 there. He cannot advance. So he has to stay at third. But Nicosia comes through in the clutch with a big double, RBI double. And now that brings up Jeffrey Leonard. Jeff Leonard steps up. Second and third, 1 out. Infield is in. Honeycutt 1-5 is a star line against the lefty. If against the righty, it's blank. So we go to Leonard. 4-2. 4-2 is a question mark 9 against the lefty. That's a 3. It's a single. So that's a single to right field. So Jeff Leonard, a single to right. That will score Brindley from third to tie the game. And now Nicosia, who doesn't run that well, probably should have pinch ran for him, but it's too late now. I didn't think about it. He's a BR of 1, and the right fielder's arm is a -1, so he has to hold automatically. He can't even try it. If there were 2 outs, he could have, but he can't now. But game is tied at 3-3 thanks to Jeff Leonard. Now here's Manny Trio. Let's see if Leonard can do anything off steal-wise. I forgot to check that because second base is open. He's a 3, so let's see if he can do anything. He cannot. So I just wanted to make sure he couldn't. Now here's Manny Trio. Chance to give the Giants the lead. 2-2. Strikeout chance against Honeycutt 18, though, is way too much. So we go to Trio. Trio 6-4 is a fly to left. So that's going to end the inning, but the Giants put up 2 of their own to match the 2 that the Dodgers put up. And we go to the 6th, tied at 3 apiece. New pitcher for the Dodgers. I'm sorry, for the new pitchers for the Giants will be right-hander Rennie Martin. So Rennie Martin is on. Rennie Martin, he will be on to face Marshall, Maldonado, and Yeager. So Rennie Martin is on. Rennie Martin, 2-4. 2-4 is the ballpark card, so we got to bring Candlestick right back in the fray. 4-6. 4-6 is a question mark 7. That's a 13. And 13 falls in the home run category. That is a home run for Mike Marshall. So he greets Rennie Martin. First batter Rennie Martin faces, and Mike Marshall gives a blast to put the Dodgers up 4-3. So welcome to the game, Rennie Martin. Rennie Martin getting shook up a little bit. Now here's Candy Maldonado, and now Tommy Lasorda has finally spit some linguine out and woken up. Gives teams a little pep talk. Here's Maldonado. 6-1, strikeout chance, 17, too much. So we go to Maldonado. 2-1, 2-1's a fly to right. 1 away. Maldonado is retired. That brings up Steve Yeager. 5-4, and that's a blank on Martin's card. Go to Yeager. 1-2, that's a liner to third. Out number 2 is Youngblood snags it. So 2 down for Greg Brock. 1-6, a home run chance straight up, and he's a 20. That's a 14. It is gone. So Greg Brock, a home run, long ball on display here for the Dodgers. That's 2 of them off of Rennie Martin. And now the Dodgers lead at 5-3. Dave Anderson, 2-5. Walk chance, 11 is too much. No, it's not. I'm sorry, it's a 13. So 11 will be a walk. And that's going to take us to Rick Honeycutt, who will bat for himself since they have the lead. 3-3 is a blank, so we go to Honeycutt. 2-6 is a ground ball to third. That's going to finally end the inning. But 2 home runs, 2 solo shots, and the Dodgers lead it 5-3 as we go to the bottom of the 6th. And we'll keep an eye on Honeycutt. He has faced 20 batters. He can go 27, so he's still in good shape with that. Going to be facing Jack Clark to start things off. The red dye got hung up in there somewhere. Oh, it got pushed back. Oh, sorry about that. We're having all kinds of issues here, aren't we? Somehow the way I threw it in there didn't feed properly. Let's try this again. Even with the dice tower, I'm still messing up. All right, so we got a 2-2 on Honeycutt, and that's a strikeout chance. 12 is too high, so Clark will not strike out. 6-4 on Clark against a lefty, 6-4 is a walk. He would have grounded to short against a righty, but this is a walk. So leadoff walk to Clark. And his attempt is a 1. So we'll see if he can do anything, because Honeycutt doesn't add anything to it. Nope, nothing's going on. So here's Dusty Baker. Honeycutt 2-6, error on a grounder, possibly if there's a grounder. 3-3, Starline 6, it's a fly to right, so no error to worry about. Baker is retired, 1 away for Chili Davis. 6-4 for Chili Davis, or 6-4 rather for Honeycutt. Against a right-hander, that is a blank. Go to Davis, 2-5, he grounds to first, could be a double play. His double play rating's a 2, add 1 for Honeycutt, that's a 3, pivot at short is a 0. So 1-3, it's a double play. 5, it will not be a double play. It will be a force play because the BR rating of Clark is less than the 5 that was rolled. So we're going to call it a 3-6 fielder's choice as Brock throws to Anderson for the force play. And now that brings up Chili Davis. He is on first now, the new runner at first. He's got an attempt of 3, so we'll see if he does anything. He does not. So that brings up Bob Brentley. 2 outs, runner at first. 2-3, strikeout chance. 7 is too high. So we go to Brentley. 3-5. 3-5 is a fly to center. That's going to end the inning. So nothing doing there for the Gents. We go to the 7th. And it's still 5-3 in favor of the Dodgers. Now Rennie Martin, they're going to give him another chance to see if he can correct himself from this previous bad outing. So let's see. He's going to face the top of the order in Steve Sachs. 2-3 is a strike. Oh, I'm sorry, it's a blank against a righty. So 2-3, you go to Sachs's card. 4-2. 4-2 is a single to center. So Martin continues to struggle, and now the Giant bullpen, it's going to be Randy Lurch is loosening the lefty. He could be coming in very shortly. Let's see. Sachs has an attempt of 7, plus 1 from Martin, makes it an 8. See if he can do anything. He can. He's going to try to steal. So we'll bring Sachs back out. His stolen base is a 13. Add 1 from Martin, makes it a 14. Catcher, Brentley is a 0. So 1 through 14, he will steal. And he's caught stealing. It's a 15, so he gets caught stealing. So how about that? Brentley fired it down there and got him. So Dodgers got greedy, wanted extra runs, and they paid for it. Here's Bill Russell, 4-6, a walk plus chance. His walk is a 10, but you add 10, makes it a 20, and that is a 20, so it is a walk. So Bill Russell, thanks to the walk plus, he will walk. First time he's reached. And his attempt is a 2, plus 1 from Rennie Martin, makes it a 3, but nothing happening. So, sorry about that, I keep hitting the camera stand there. Let's see if I can't force this up a little bit better. All right, so nothing happening. Here's Guerrero. 2-1 is a potential walk, but Guerrero 19 is too much, so we go to Guerrero. 4-5. 4-5 is a ground ball to short, could be a double play. That is a 2, but minus 1 from Rennie Martin makes it a 1. So this has to be a 1. The pivot is 0. It's a 2, so no double play. And since the runner, Russell, has a 2 BR rating, he will get to go to second. So it's going to be a 4-3 ground, I believe it was. I forget now who hit it to. I'm thinking it was a ground ball to second, so call it a 4-3. Not that it really matters. I'm not doing fielding stats or anything. The key is the runner got to second base. That's the bottom line. All right, here's Mike Marshall, 2-5. Walk chance, 18 is too much, though, against a right-hander. Against a lefty, he would have walked. Here's Marshall, 6-4. That's a single pass second, so that might produce another run because there are 2 outs. So Russell will get that 2-out boost. His BR rating is a 2, but now it becomes a 3. And on an S4, it was an S4. To score from second, you just need a 2 through 6, so Russell will score. So it's an RBI single. RBI single for Marshall. And that's going to do it for Rennie Martin. He is out of there. Rennie Martin, he is going to come out. And Randy Lurch is going to come on. Randy Lurch. And there might even be a double switch here. Let's see who they got on the bench. Now, you know what? They're just going to have Lurch pitch and then pinch hit for him. They're not going to worry about it. Here's Maldonado. 3-3 is blank on Lurch. 4-1's a fly to right, and that's going to finally end the inning. But a run is across. This thing keeps messing up on me here. All right, so runs across, 7th inning stretch. It is 6-3 in favor of the Dodgers. Honeycutt's going back out there. And Lurch will end up facing one batter. And that's going to be it. Then we'll get a new pitcher for the 8th because he's probably going to be pinch hit for. All right, so Honeycutt coming back out. And he'll be facing Brenly. Then LeMaster. And then a pinch hitter. So Brenly, LeMaster, and a pinch hitter against Honeycutt. 2-2 is a strikeout chance. 10 is too much. We go to Brenly. 4-2 when Brenly is a ground ball to third, one away. Brings up LeMaster. 4-1 is a range play at the ballpark. Candlestick, a 3-2. Starline 2, which on Honeycutt is a grounder to short. Doing a range of the shortstop, and that is Anderson. His range is a 3. 5, he will not get it. It's going to sneak through for a base hit. Base hit for LeMaster, and now we'll get a pinch hitter for the Giants. They'll go to the last righty they have on the bench, and that's Johnny Rabb, as opposed to Johnny Reb. This is Johnny Rabb. He is a pinch hitter. Johnny Rabb. 5-6 is a blank against a righty. Finish up on Rabb. 1-3. Grounds to second. Could be a double play. His double play range is a 0. That's a 1. So this has to be a 1 to be a double play. It is not. It's runner advance. So Rabb with the 4-3 ground out. And LeMaster will go to second base with 2 outs. And it brings up Youngblood. Top of the order. 6-5. Righty is a blank. Youngblood. 6-5 again is a fly to right. And that's going to end the inning. So nothing doing in the 7th for the Giants. We go to the 8th. Still a 6-3 score. Timeout for a pitching change. Okay, Frank Williams takes over for the Giants against Steve Yeager. 4-2. That's a home run question mark. That's a 5, but he misses the home run. It has to be a 1-2. So we go to Yeager. 3-2 on Yeager is a fly to right, and there's one away. Honeycutt scheduled to bat 4th this inning. He's going to be probably pinch hit for if it gets to that point. Probably come out either way. Williams 5-5 against Brock. Against the righty, it's a star line. Against the lefty, it's blank. Go to Brock. 6-6 is a ground ball back to the pitcher. So Frank Williams makes the play very easily. 2 up, 2 down for Dave Anderson. 2-6 is a strikeout plus chance, so he is gone. Strikeout plus against a right-hander. And that's going to take us to the bottom of the 8th. And we have a new pitcher coming on. We'll be right back with that new pitcher. Okay, new pitcher Tom Miedenfuhr. 6-1, strikeout chance. 16's too much. We go to Trio. 1-5, ground ball to second. One away. Brings up Jack Clark. 2-5, strikeout plus. That's going to get Clark for a K. So 2 down. Miedenfuhr, 2 quick outs. Here's Dusty Baker, and there was a double switch. Stubbs is now batting 9th and playing first base, and Miedenfuhr is batting the 7th spot, formerly held by Greg Brock, because the 9th spot is set to lead off next inning. 4-1 for Miedenfuhr is a walk chance, and Dusty Baker is going to draw a 2-out walk. His attempt is a 1, but with the score being what it is and the inning it is, we're going to eschew that strategy roll and just keep going. 6-3 is a strikeout chance. 18, though, is too much for Chili Davis. Chili Davis, a 3-6. He's going to single past second. And on an S4, to get from first to third, you need a 3-6 BR rating. And the runner, Dusty Baker, his BR is a 2, but there's 2 outs, gives him a 3, so he will make it. So runners at the corners, 2 down for Bob Brenly. 6-4 is a star line on the Miedenfuhr card, so Brenly is going to be out. Oops, wrong die. Brenly is going to be out with a fly to right, and that's going to end the inning. So we go to the 9th, and we're right back with another pitching change. Okay, my bad, no pitching change. Frank Williams continues. 6-5 for Williams. He's not tired yet. He can only go to 7 batters. He only faced 4, so no single. Go to Stubbs. 5-1, it's a ground ball to second. Stubbs batting in the 9th spot is now out of there, 1 away. And here's Steve Sachs. It's Williams, 5-4. 5-4 is a potential walk. 15, though, is too much for the walk, so we go to sacks. And we get a 3-3, and that is a ground ball back to the pitcher. So 2 down, and that brings up Bill Russell. Russell, 3-5, is a strikeout plus chance, and he's going to be gone. So Frank Williams, very fine relief work. 2 innings of relief work. We'll be right back for the bottom of the 9th. Okay, bottom of the 9th, it's going to be Bob Brenly. 4-6, error on a grounder possibly, if there is a grounder. 1-5, 1-5 is a star line 1, which is a ground ball to second. So we're checking for an error. That is a 1, so it's going to be an error on Steve Sachs. His error rating's an 8, so it will be an E4 on Sachs. And now we have a pinch hitter. Scott Thompson will pinch hit for Johnny LeMaster. Niedenfuhr, 5-6, is a blank against a lefty. Go to Thompson. 3-5 is a star line 4, which is a fly to left, 1 away. And now that takes us to, I'm sorry, that should have been Al Oliver's at bat. My bad, I got them mixed up. 3-5 on Al Oliver is a star line 2, which is a ground ball to short, so it could be a double play. So let's see, double play rating for Al Oliver is a 4, -1 from Niedenfuhr is a 3. And it is a double play, so I got that backwards, my bad. That is a 4-6-3 double play. It was Oliver and then Thompson was the order, because Thompson's batting the 9th spot. So we go to Thompson, last chance. 4-2 is a range play at Candlestick. 6-3 is a fly to center, so we're checking the range of Russell, who's a 2. And he's going to fall in for a double. So it's a double for Thompson, the pinch hitter. Pinch hit double, and now it's Youngblood. Last chance. 5-3 is a potential single.